is a presentation of WGN Sports.
WGN Sports. It's the rubber game as the Cubs try to finish up a 4-2 road trip. Great to have you with us from Milwaukee. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. The Cubs busted out the big lumber last night, and after a shaky start, Kyle Hendricks settled in nicely in his debut.
Yeah, he got ambushed early. Jonathan Villar, the first batter he faced, took an 0-2 pitch and rode it out of the ballpark. Then they went single-double to build a 2-0 lead. And he thought, wait a minute, that's not Kyle Hendricks. And then the professor reemerged, settled in, got command of the fastball, got that changeup darting down and away to the left-handed hitters, and pitched a very solid ball game. Worked 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, just 1 walk, struck out 6, and enjoyed plenty of run support.
Talked to Chris Bosio today. He said, you know, his strike percentage was almost too high early on, so they had to expand the zone a little bit.
Yeah, and normally with Hendricks, it's a lot of strikes, but it's strikes on or just off the edges, and at times early on, he was just kind of making some mistakes over the middle of the plate.
We had been saying all week it was a matter of time for the offense, and last night was that night.
A spring awakening, if you will. They banged out 17 hits, scored 11 runs. 3 of the major culprits from the Brewers' point of view, Bryant, Russell, and Almora, all with 3 hits in the ball game. Good to see Bryant get on a roll. He drove in 3. Addison Russell locked in all night, line drives all over the field, and Albert Almora having a big game as well.
So 11 runs on 17 hits last night, and a lot of Cubs fan support, and that'll be the case again today. We'll talk about the starting pitchers when we return to Milwaukee.
Supporting young adults in their education and training after high school is a key part of keeping our workforce and community competitive. That's why the Sedona Group is partnering with WQAD News 8 to recognize outstanding high school seniors as part of our SOAR Scholarship Program. We're looking for seniors that best exemplify the SOAR characteristics. 5 scholarships will be awarded. We invite all high school seniors to apply at WQAD.com.
If you've had it with slow DSL and satellite, let's talk. Call Mediacom and save up to 64% on Power Pack bundles. Get faster internet up to 200 meg with Wi-Fi, free on-demand movies and shows, and TV entertainment you can take on the go. Plus, call now and we'll include Showtime and Stars. Mediacom TV, internet, and phone bundles start as low as $49.98 a month for a year. That's one low price for all 3 services. Call 800-SIMPLIFY now.
Convenient, unique, greatest grains, natural and organic products, fresh foods, body care, vitamins and supplements, healthy and delicious living made easy. Greatest Grains. We are health-minded with your health in mind. A family tradition since 1979. Greatest Grains, located on Harrison in the Hilltop Campus Village, Davenport.
Champion Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, pursuing the American dream since 1876. This Bud's for you. Honda, great deals are waiting for you now at at your local Honda dealer. State Farm, here to help life go right. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Wendy's, where the quarter-pound double stack is now an option in the 4 for $4 at participating locations for a limited time. Meyer, true Chicago fans, your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer. And by Southwest Airlines, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Welcome back to Milwaukee. This ballpark and the month of April have been very good to Jake Arrieta, who's coming off a nice performance in his season debut.
Yeah, last year in the month of April, Jake was 5-0 with an ERA of 1. He won the Pitcher of the Month award April of 2016. First start against the Cardinals was really good. Great movement on his fastball throughout his outing. Had a very sharp curveball, and that's what the Brewer hitters will have to deal with here today. A guy with plus stuff across the board. As Len mentioned, he's been very good in this ballpark. 2-0 in 3 starts with an ERA of 1.42.
One unearned run in that start in 6 innings. Zach Davies did not have a very good debut. He has struggled in April in his young career, but he's a good one.
Yeah, I like him. He reminds me a little bit of Kyle Hendricks, who spots the fastball, has a real good changeup. Got off to a miserable start last year, but over his last 25 starts last season, he was 11-4 with a 3.5 earned run average.
Well, the reigning world champions are very excited about heading home, where they'll start a big 10-day, 9-game homestand tomorrow. Joe Madden and his club looks to end this road trip 2 games over 500. Lineups and first pitch from Milwaukee next.
We take the worry completely out of the car buying experience at greenfamilyauto.com.
3 dealers, all with a 3-day money-back guarantee.
That's right. Bring it back for any reason, and we'll exchange it or give you your money back. No questions asked. It's our family's guarantee to your family.
Don't like the color you got? Simply have doubts? Bring it back in 3 days for our money-back guarantee.
At greenfamilyauto.com.
Don't forget, we buy from you even if you don't buy from us.
Green, gotta go to green.
At Orthopedic Specialists, we pride ourselves on better results. We're able to achieve those better results because of our fellowship training and specialty care. What that allows us to do is specialize in different parts or areas of orthopedics. In my particular case, as a spine surgeon, that gave me the opportunity to focus on minimally invasive spine procedures. I was very happy to be able to provide outpatient spine surgery to this community when I came to town back in 2004.
Big JJ Fish and Chicken. Every Tuesday, boneless wings are 50 cents. And on Thursday, traditional wings are also 50 cents. Each wing made fresh with the best ingredients. Come try our Quad City award-winning wings. Big taste, big value. Big JJ Fish and Chicken.
Great futures start at the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Mississippi Valley.
One taste is never enough.
Oh, man.
Follow Brewed on Facebook and get the latest craft beer news and some special looks behind the scenes.
Chicago Cubs baseball in beautiful high definition is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. The roof open today. It has become a little overcast, but very comfortable. Anytime it's April 9th and you have the ability to close the roof, but you'd rather not, that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. That's a wonderful thing.
And this was a really good thing last night as the Cubs Southwest starting lineup starts with Kyle Schwarber. Chris Bryant had 3 hits last night. Anthony Rizzo, the first baseman, followed by Ben Zobrist, who hit a home run Friday. Addison Russell had 3 hits in Game 2. Jason Hayward back in the lineup after sitting out against the lefty last night. Miguel Montero makes his 2nd start of the season. Arrieta 1 for 2 in his first start. And John Jay, the center fielder, will bat 9th.
And we'll see the group that Craig Counsell has sent out there this afternoon. Ryan Braun was out of the lineup yesterday with a bit of a back issue. Back in there this afternoon. He's got Keon Broxton next to him in center field. Domingo Santana will play right. Shaw, third base. Hernan Perez spells Arcia at short. VR Thames on the right side of the infield. And maybe the coolest guy in all of baseball, Jet Bandy, will do the catching for the slender right-hander, Zach Davies. So he's made one start this year against the Rockies. It did not go well. So 0-1 with a 12.46 ERA. Last year, he led their club in wins with 11, had an ERA of 3.97, making 28 starts. His first essentially full year in the big leagues. He did spend a little bit of time down at AAA.
Doug Eddings is behind the plate today. Corey Blazer at first, the crew chief Jeff Nelson at second, and Laz Diaz is over at third. So we're ready as Davies fires low for ball one to get us started.
And so last night the Brewers started Tommy Milone, a finesse lefty. Davies, similar game plan in that he's not a hard thrower. Sinker, changeup. Force him up and just assume, or I guess more accurately, you cannot assume you're going to get a fastball in a hitter's count.
Three and 0 on Schwarber.
Yeah, and again, a point I've made a number of times already this year and will continue to make throughout the year. The danger that Schwarber brings the leadoff spot. See a tentative approach for a lot of pitchers right from the get-go.
72 degrees as we get started. The 3-1. Good start for the Cubs. They shifted, but it didn't matter against Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, they overloaded the outside of the field. They went ahead and went right at their strength. Picked up the first down.
Craig Counsell's team comes in at 2-4. The Cubs have won 3 of their first 5. And now it's Chris Bryant, who is heating up after an 0-for-14 start. 4 hits the last 2 games, swing and a miss, including 2 doubles and 3 RBIs last night.
Chris, 5 out of 14 with a home run against Davies.
Davies will check on Schwarber.
Yeah, it should be a tough tandem to run on. Not that the Cubs are looking to do a lot of running, but Davies very good at holding base runners, and Bandy was among the better throwing catchers in the American League last year. He was with the Angels last season.
That is a strike. Oh, 2. Rizzo on deck. Good lead by Schwarber. Here's the pitch.
Curveball there from Davies. He'll use that pitch from time to time. He'll also cut his fastball.
Born in Puyallup, Washington, went to high school in Gilbert, Arizona. Was a middle infielder before committing to pitching his junior year. Still 2 strikes on Bryant. Not a high draft pick. 26th round by the Orioles. And here he is, basically the number 2 starter for the Brewers. Another 0-2 in on the hands, and Bryant fights it off.
Well, he has movement, he has command, he's got a good change of speed. And again, the comparison to Kyle Hendricks is pretty apparent. He has not had the success yet that Hendricks has had at the big league level, but you could see him settling in and being a very solid starter for a number of years.
Yeah, the first line in the Fangraphs profile for Davies is, if you're looking for the next Kyle Hendricks, this is a great spot to start. 1-2. April has not been kind to him. 4 starts, all losses, giving up over an earned run per inning. Here it is, outside.
Cubs saw Davies 4 times last year. He was 2-2 with a 5.32 ERA in those ball games. Lifetime 3-2 with a 4.18. Oh, good take. Here goes Bryant again, back to full. That's such an easy pitch to chase. You see it time and time again, but not so much from Chris Bryant. You know, he'll get out of the zone sometimes on the elevated fastball, but I think he came into this plate appearance against Davies really focusing on that changeup.
Keep an eye on Schwarber. Probably not going with nobody out. No, they're faked towards second, and now he can take off, and he will head to third. Back-to-back singles to start the game. What an at-bat for Chris Bryant.
Yes, sir. Pressure busted pipe. Tentative with Schwarber, had to give in on 3-1. He delivers a solid single, and then Bryant works the lengthy at-bat. He has talked frequently this offseason, this spring, about trying to hit the ball the other way more frequently, and that's just a beautiful bit of hitting there. Wasn't that bat?
So Rizzo in a great spot. First and third, nobody out. 4 out of 20 to begin the season, with 1 extra base hit, a double. And the Brewers will play for a double play chance on the infield. Low, ball 1.
Such a daunting task for a pitcher starting the ball game, trying to settle in, to have to deal with this threesome at the top.
This young core hopes to be together for a long time to come. Holding, and Rizzo is out, so it played like a sac bunt, even though that was far from his intention. Second and third, 1 away. That's a big first out for Davies. The phrase is the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And when you're in a situation like Davies is here in the first, if there's any glimpse of light, it comes only after you get 1 out.
Yeah. Yep.
On the pull side in the infield, they're going to play back against Zobrist.
And it's interesting in that situation, first and third, Craig Counsell on his infield playing for 2, which is the right play. Give up the out, or give up the run, excuse me, to get 2 outs to clean up the inning. As a pitcher, you're like, yeah, I get it, but I'd prefer not to give up any. This is a trade that Davies would have taken, the 1 out and still 2 runners on base.
Zobrist, productive night on Saturday with a hit, an RBI, 2 walks, and a run scored. I mentioned earlier he homered Friday. Ben's playing second, hitting in the cleanup spot, and Bandy will head out to the mound for the second time this inning.
I think one of the challenges for a hitter in this situation is just to be patient and be disciplined. Davies does not have a real good breaking ball. He doesn't throw 95 miles an hour, so he's the kind of guy you're pretty comfortable in the box against. The temptation is to go up there thinking, I'm going to unload and do some real damage, and that's where he has success. When he gets you pulling off that 2-seam fastball or out in front of that changeup. And you saw a great example of it with Bryant staying through the middle, hitting the ball the other way. You have to maintain that disciplined approach against these command control guys with good off-speed stuff.
(3-0).
He may be content with a fresh start with the bases loaded here.
Russell waiting on deck. The Brewers have not allowed a first inning run in their first 6 games, but that is in jeopardy here today. Ball 4.
Yeah, he went into straight, not going to give in mode, which is, it's a dangerous way to make a living, putting men on base this early in the ball game. But he is a ground ball pitcher, so the double play certainly in play here.
Bandy already wearing out a path between home plate and the pitcher's mound as he tries to help his pitcher get through this inning. 3 for 4 last night for Russell. The 3 hits tying a career high. And he drives one to center. Broxton back on it over his head. It's going to one-hop the wall. Schwarber scores. Bryant is in. It's 2-0 in the first.
And the road crowd goes nuts. Three-hit night for Russell last night, and boy, he was right on the ball all night long and off to a great start here this afternoon.
And 2 more in scoring position for Jason Hayward, who has hit in all 4 games in which he has appeared. Sat out last night. And out into the gap in right center. It's going to be 4-0. And Hayward's on his way to third. It's a triple.
First inning barrage here. Eric Johnson, the pitching coach, to the mound. Hayward showing early signs of being able to put up much better numbers than he did last year.
And for a Ryan Kelly home field fact, this has felt like home field, hasn't it? 17 out of 20 when they score at least 4 here at Miller Park. They had a great stretch overall. Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert.com. Infield in against Montero. Check swing foul. Four hits and a walk in the inning. And The guy who's benefiting from all this run support is now on deck in Jake Arrieta. By the way, for Hayward, he had one triple in 592 plate appearances last season. So already equaling that total with one swing today. 23rd career 3-base hit. When we talked late last night about how Craig Counsell was going to need some innings out of Davies today. They made a roster move. Left-hander Brent Suter, after the game last night, optioned back to AAA Colorado Springs. Right-hander David Goforth selected from AAA today as Montero walks.
Yeah, he's on his heels. He just doesn't want to give in. Trying to tiptoe around this inning. So this is the play where normally you see Joe employ a little sacrifice, or excuse me, safety squeeze. First and third, one out with his pitcher up there. Arrieta being Arrieta, he may let him have a hack before he decides to play that game. I mean, Davies has been very tentative all inning. If ever there was a time he was going to channel a heater, you would think it would be here with the opposing pitcher in the box.
Cubs pitchers batting .455 to start the year. Kyle Hendricks and John Lackey each with 2 hit games this week. Here's the pitch. Foul pop-up. Thames can't make the play.
$17 hits the Cubs had last night, 6 doubles. There was a fair number of bloopers and field hits, but everything's been squared up here so far this afternoon.
Called strike 3 on his 30th pitch of the inning. 2 outs. Second start for John Jay. 3 for 7 to begin his Cubs career. Swinging a foul straight back. So what is the pattern in terms of center field? Well, 6 games in. Hayward, Almora, Jay. Hayward, Almora, Jay. Getting the starting assignments. Could not hold call made by Doug Eddings before they even appealed.
Yeah, I don't think we anticipated seeing Hayward in center field that much this year, but depending on who the opposing pitcher is, depending on who's pitching for the Cubs, the defensive alignment that Joe prefers on any given day, we may see Hayward in center field more frequently.
And Montero was dancing off of first, and that forced Davies to step off.
Got Thames playing behind him there, trying to defend the field, and Mickey's getting a little antsy out there. Good job.
Stolen base. Miguel Montero.
Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't throw through, to tell you the truth. Because even though they weren't holding him, I think if Bandy comes out of his crouch and snaps off a throw, they got a shot at him. Mickey's got to be tied for the club lead now in stolen bases.
Yeah, he's on the board.
Yeah. Got to cut off the jam.
That is his 5th career steal. Fly ball, well hit, drawn over, and he's got it. So all 9 come to the plate. The Cubs put up a 4 spot. Kyle Schwarber starting it with that base hit. Jake Arrieta to the mound when we come back.
Hey, Illinois drivers, I need your help to make our roads as safe as possible. For starters, cars and trucks, please be extra careful when driving next to each other. Whoa! Also, if your phone isn't hands-free, it's illegal to use when driving in Illinois.
So drop it and drive.
And remember, when you see orange signs, look for the unexpected. Something ahead could result in a crash. See orange, slow down, save lives. Together, we can make 0 fatalities a reality. Always drive safely and embrace the orange.
I'm not the type to say any of this mushy garbage.
You know what? I'm going for it.
You are completely and utterly
Awesome. I'm glad you showed up.
in my life.
I think I'm about to cry. You better not.
Every single time I
Get down!
you always have
Back. My back.
It's really hard to describe. It's like all these tiny little things.
Yes, yes, things.
Are actually friendship.
Let's get the Brewers starting lineup. VR with a leadoff home run last night. Thames played the outfield in game 2. He's at first today. Braun back in the lineup. Had a back issue yesterday. Shaw off to a good start. Santana in right. Hernan Perez plays everywhere. You see his solid numbers against Arrieta. Keon Broxton in center. Bandy homered late last night. Davies, the pitcher, hopes to bat in this game.
Yeah, maybe not. Schwarber, Jay Hayward patrol the outfield. Bryant Russell, Zobrist Rizzo third to first. Miguel Montero behind the plate. And today's Cubs starter brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. The big right-hander Jake Arrieta. Choose Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all.
Curveball, the pitch we saw a lot in his first start.
Yeah. Yeah, I get the sense that maybe this is going to be a little point of emphasis for Jake to use that curveball a little bit more this year. It was a very good first start for Arrieta. He allowed just 1 run. It was unearned.
Fouled back by VR. Career start as a Cub. It was supposed to be tomorrow in the home opener, but with all the off days, the Cubs wanted to get another lefty against a Dodger club that has really struggled against southpaws. So John Lester will pitch tomorrow night. Arrieta on normal rest here today. Almost 1 of every 4 pitches he threw in St. Louis was a curveball. Strike 3.
There's another one. Well, and it's interesting too. I think it makes a lot of sense, especially against these teams within the division that have seen a lot of him over the last couple of years, to change the mix a little bit. I mean, he's always had the curveball as part of his repertoire, but the heavy usage is what's new.
Deep right. Right at the base of the wall for Thames, who will trot into second with a one-out double. You know, this ballpark's been around since 2001, and anytime you have a retractable roof stadium, you often get, well, when the roof's closed, this is the environment. When the roof's open, it's like this. I heard the reference last night to, you know, when the roof's closed, it's like a bandbox. It's like hitting in a warehouse. I think it's just a good place to hit.
Yeah, I agree. Really, the ball carries well here. Some of the angles in the outfield. Great extra base situations. Beautiful day, 72 degrees. You see it's a little breezy, gusty at times.
Tapped foul by Braun. Lower back tightness had been bothering him for a few days, so did not play last night. On Friday, a leadoff single in the 11th, and then he eventually scored the game-ending run on a Mike Montgomery wild pitch.
6 out of 18 with a couple of home runs for Braun against Jake.
Braun went around.
Been a lot of turnover on this Brewer club over the last couple of seasons, so most of these hitters do not have much of a book against Arrieta.
Briefly gets away from Montero, but he'll give it to Rizzo just in time as Anthony came down on the bag ahead of Braun getting there. Runner at third, 2 outs, 2 strikeouts early for Arrieta against a team that set a major league record last year with over 1,500 strikeouts.
And Braun better than league average in terms of his strikeout rate. Rarely do you see him fooled that badly.
Now Travis Shaw, 6 extra base hits already in just 6 games. A sign from Montero. Bounced foul.
Brewers taken out of their game early with the 4 spot the Cubs put up in the first. You would think heading into this one, Craig Counsell probably felt like his best chance to get any offense going against Arrieta would be to turn the running game loose. They led the major leagues in stolen bases. They got a lot of speed in their lineup. And this combination of Arrieta and Montero are vulnerable to giving up the stolen base. But once you fall down 4, you get a little, most managers tend to get a little conservative. Don't want to take chances on the bases.
The 2-1 is in for a strike on a curve.
The shape of that curveball is different than what we've seen in the past too from Jake, so he's obviously been experimenting out in the bullpen. There was some speculation after his last start that his velocity was down a little bit, but I think what they were calling fastballs in his last start, which is hard changeups.
Yeah.
At 89, 90. You know, we've seen that in the past from him.
From our vantage point, everything looked really good, and the results were great. Zobrist to Rizzo. Shut down first for Arrieta after his team gave him a 4-0 cushion.
Everybody down here made everything so easy for us.
They helped walk us through all of the decisions that needed to be handled.
Just the little things that you really appreciate.
We try to provide a service and try to anticipate their needs before they have to ask us for something.
I couldn't believe the job they did. It was amazing, just amazing.
They're extraordinary.
They were tops. It meant a lot.
Esterdahl, serving the community since 1891.
Time to switch to a new plan from U.S. Cellular with no hidden fees. Let's show your old carrier what you think of their plan with hidden fees. Data overages gone.
I've had enough.
Everyone's had enough. Monthly connection charges gone.
That's on my bill?
Activation fees gone. Doesn't that feel better? Yeah! New plans with no hidden fees, including unlimited data for $40 a month.
Wherever you want to go, chances are a Honda can take you there. Whether that's a camping trip, there's room in the HRV.
Thanks.
Or a weekend of home improvement in the Ridgeline. Or a weekend away in the Pilot. And only Honda can bring you the Honda Dream Garage sales event. Going on now. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
This Chicago Cubs game is brought to you locally by Billion Auto.
At Big JJ Fish and Chicken, we have lunch specials every day of the week until 3 p.m. There's hot wings, fish sandwiches, shrimp, Italian beef, gizzards, and catfish nuggets. Every meal guaranteed to be fresh. Big taste, big value. Big JJ Fish and Chicken.
Hey, Cub fans, if you'd like to manage the game along with Joe Madden, log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner and connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and info while watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Everything you need to have more fun at home this summer. So Schwarber leading off his second consecutive inning. Singled and scored in the first.
Got into a favorable count last time. The 3-1 pitch for a solid single. Here he's 2-0. He's snuck a heater by him.
Davies with a 2-1. Hammered to deep center. Way back toward the wall. It's gone. A home run for Schwarber. Number 2 for Kyle.
Second home run, fourth RBI. He had that 3-run shot in St. Louis. That was an impressive swing of the bat by Mr. Schwarber. Took that first fastball and then kapow. And for Southwest Airlines, how far did it fly? The distance of this home run, we're going to call 407 feet. Schwarberized.
You know what? You were 20 feet short, according to StatCast. 427?
427. Wow. I didn't want to overbid. This is my chance of being in the showcase.
So last night the Cubs had 17 hits, 11 runs, did not homer. They were out homered 3-0 in beating the Brewers by 5, which is kind of odd.
He's got a little loose with that one too. Very hittable pitch. Strong like bull.
Ground ball into center. Schwarber and Bryant have combined to go 4 for 4. Well, we're just getting started today.
Yeah, and the idea of getting innings out of Davies today, I think, is going to be short-lived for Craig Counsell. He's a good young starting pitcher, and at some point you have to say, all right, I got to get this kid out of here before he just gets absolutely mauled.
Rizzo grounded out in the first. Thames holding on Bryant in the pitch. Line shot foul. Off the plate inside on Anthony Rizzo is vulnerable to hitting him. Really crowds the plate.
Anthony, year in and year out, leads the league in swinging and getting hit by the pitch.
Yeah, had one earlier in this series. Ground ball, Thames. They get none. So Davies, who's having trouble in general, needs some help from his defense, and he didn't get it. Harris just dropped it.
Nice play by Thames. It's a good, accurate throw.
Yeah.
He's kind of peeking and getting ready to make that return throw. Forgot to catch the baseball.
So an error by the shortstop. 2 on, nobody out. Strike to Zobrist. There were estimates last night of 80-20 Cub fans to Brewers fans, which is just amazing to think about. They have that many fans of the road team. By the end of the night, JD, and a lot of fans had left, there were at least 80% Cub fans.
Yeah, certainly by the end.
Packing the place again today. Two.
Feel Davies' pain, man. I know what it's like. You wait 5 days, you get out there, you've got your game plan, you're geeked up, you get ambushed early. Your head's just spinning right now.
Swing and a miss for strike 3.
Make your plans now to catch a game at Wrigley Field and cheer on your world champion Chicago Cubs. April and May weekday games offer fans the best availability to get the seats you want. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com.
Russell had the go-ahead 2-run double in the first. Farrell went through the zone 0-1. Cannot wait to get home. Big week of festivities coming up at Wrigley. We'll chat with Cubs Vice President Julian Green about the week ahead and some of the changes you can expect when you get to the ballpark. The 1-1 pitch bounced foul.
It can be problematic for the hitters on a day like today as the pitcher's in the sunshine and there's that shadow cutting across the middle of the infield. Doesn't seem to be creating any real problem for the Cub hitters this afternoon.
Russell foul tips. Back back-to-back strikeouts for Davies. We'll bring up Hayward, who knocked in 2 with a double in the first. Yeah, they normally have the lights on even for day games here because of those shadows. Talked to Jason about the C-flap jaw protector that a lot of guys are now wearing. Keon Broxton, the Brewers center fielder, wears one and got hit in the face the other day. Did suffer a nasal fracture, but could have been a lot worse as the ball mostly got that flap. And Broxton wears that flap not because he was hit previously, it's because he knows other guys have been. And I think you're going to see a good amount of players start to wear them. In the case of Hayward, it was 2013 when he got beamed. That is foul. He missed a month, maybe came back sooner than he should have, but the Braves were in a playoff race at the time. He said there was a time he thought about getting rid of it after that. And he said Madison Bumgarner threw 2 pitches over my head. And I thought, I think I'll keep it.
Good, yeah.
So after a while, you just get used to it. The end of the bat and rolled foul. 2-2 on Hayward.
I'd go up there with a goalie mask. Then I'd really dig in. Probably would have been an 090 hitter with that kind of confidence. It's always there for hitters, though. Always in the back of the mind. Challenge, of course, is to push it as far to the recesses of your mind as possible and just play.
Line drive, left center, Braun over, he dives and he makes a catch. What a play by Braun. As it is, the Cubs added to their lead. It's 5-0, but it should be more if not for that defense.
The Big Bag Lunch. Pick any 2 to go with your fries and drink for just $5. Only at Hardee's.
How do you become America's best-selling brand?
Stop. Watch.
You make it for 16-year-olds.
Whoa.
And the parents who worry about them. Going further to help make drivers better drivers.
You sound right. Don't freak out on me.
That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now get an Escape with 0% financing for 72 months or up to $5,062 in total savings. Only at your local Ford store.
Need help?
Oh, thanks.
Some people think because I'm from Crawford Company, I can solve any problem.
Oh, Julie, will you get my gloves for me, please?
But what we know best is providing Bryan Air Conditioning.
Hey, Mom, have you seen my baseball?
With no high-pressure sales pitch. With great products at a fair price, your problems are solved. Honestly, just call Crawford Company. Now let's finish up this bad boy.
Visit Crawford-Company.com for rebates on affordable air conditioning solutions from Crawford Company.
This Chicago Cubs game is brought to you locally by Satins North Park Glass.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to check out the Cubs blog at WGNTV.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media, or do both. Nationwide is on your side. Second inning of work for Arrieta. Gave up a first inning double, but no runs as he faces Domingo Santana. Will be followed by Perez and Broxton. Way. Ground ball to the shortstop, Russell.
Introducing the Cubs' new instant mobile ticketing offer. The MLB.com Ballpark app is your free, secure, and convenient way to instantly access Cubs tickets via your mobile device. Download the app at the App Store or Google Play and begin using Ballpark today. For more information, visit Cubs.com/ballpark-app.
With that out, Arrieta just reached 1,000 career innings. Couple of bounces cut off by Bryant in front of Russell. Two quick outs now, Broxton. Got into the first two games of the set off the bench. This is his first start since that scary incident on Thursday. I believe a balloon or something blowing around in center field.
It is balloon.
Thank you, Jeff.
Quiet comes over the broadcast booth.
Breaking ball. Arrieta off the mound. Low throw. No problem for Rizzo. 7 pitch, 1-2-3 second for Jake.
We take care of a lot of carpal tunnel and cubital tunnel, which are nerve-related problems. We take care of a lot of arthritic problems, such as arthritis at the base of the thumb, and we take care of a lot of fractures. A majority of our procedures are outpatient procedures, so the patient comes in, has the surgery, and goes home the same day. And we do a lot of minimally invasive procedures, which patients like. It's a smaller incision and faster recovery. We just try to take good care of our patients and provide the best possible care.
Hit a home run on your next new or used car purchase at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered your personal field of dreams. You'll be treated like an all-star, from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a major league selection of pre-owned vehicles. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh yeah, Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
This Chicago Cubs game is brought to you locally by Whelan Presley Funeral Home. You're watching WQAD News 8. Before the storm.
Actually noticing some activity just near the Quad Cities too.
During the storm.
Looking at the rotation on this,
there is definitely rotation there.
Just got another report of tennis ball size hail again. Some of these hail reports have just been very, very impressive.
After the storm, when your life, your home is threatened by severe weather, you know exactly what's happening. Storm Track 8. We track storms.
Hey, Chicagoland viewers, it's time for the Subway third inning triple play promotion. Text Subway 3 to 97999 right now. The 300th texter will win a $30 gift card to a Subway restaurant in the Chicagoland area. Subway restaurant, footlong of the day. Great to have with us the Cubs Vice President of Communications and Community Affairs, Julian Green. Julian, we cannot wait to get home. It's been too long.
It has, and we're ready. We're working around the clock to make sure that Wrigley Field is in pristine condition for tomorrow night's game.
Cubs lead 5-0, so let's talk tomorrow night and Wednesday night. A lot of pregame festivities going on.
Starting at 6:15 tomorrow, so we want fans to get there pretty early, Lynn. We got Rhino, Billy Williams, and Fergie Jenkins raising the championship banner. Members of the Ricketts family throwing out the first pitch, and our home team, the world champion Chicago Cubs, wearing some really great uniforms with celebratory gold on the hats and on the uniforms.
Montero needs a new bat. And then Wednesday is ring night. That is going to be a lot of fun.
Ring night is going to be pretty special, specifically because we have selected 20, I think, probably some of the most excited Cubs fans you will ever see in the ballpark that will be giving out the rings to the players. And they have some fantastic and remarkable stories. Even a young woman who has spina bifida who will be joining us, and other many wonderful stories of people overcoming the odds on Wednesday night.
So these people, it was a contest, correct? And these people submitted their stories, and you selected, was it, say, 20 of them?
1,500 people, JD, submitted, gave us submissions online through Twitter.
Yeah.
So using social media, asking them to, we wanted people to nominate the most
deserving Cubs fans.
Yeah, exactly. Really and so it was some really good stories, pulled on your heartstrings. We went through all 1,500 submissions, and so it was a really tough choice, but we think we came up with some of the best of the best, and everyone in Chicago will see them on Wednesday night. It's going to be a truly special opportunity for these fans.
Arrieta out into center. Roxton may have lost sight of the ball.
I couldn't tell if he was calling for it or asking for help.
So a lot of changes as Project 1060 continues, and I think the number one thing people should know is that it's going to be easier to get in and out of the ballpark this year than last year with all the construction we had, right?
Sure. The new park at Wrigley will be opening up tomorrow. I know they're at home now putting on the finishing touches and putting in the landscape, but a new western gate will help ease congestion in the concourses for people to enter and exit out the ballpark. Fans will notice that the bullpens have been relocated, but a really great feature for the fans out there in the bleachers, two-way glass, so they'll be able to see the pitchers warm up. And new seats in the former bullpen area for some of our season ticket holders who get some of those lucky tickets to get seats close to the action. So yes, a lot of remarkable changes.
We've talked about mobile ticketing. We've done promos for that as you get a look at some of the renovations. Tickets will clearly be at a premium this year for the reigning world champions.
You know, I can't tell you the number of text messages that I've gotten for people asking for opening day tickets. They should have texted me 5 months ago.
Right.
But yes, no more printed home tickets. Mobile ticketing. Use your smart app. You can download the ballpark app on your phone. We want to get fans conditioned to using their phone to use it to scan. We think it's going to help expedite lines at the ballpark and actually cut down on a lot of the counterfeit and fraudulent ticketing.
That is foul to right. So what else have we not covered in terms of the ballpark? I'm looking forward to getting there because, you know, JD and I haven't been there. We've been in spring training and
Got a new terrace area, but the marquee, there's going to be kind of a hangout area on the backside, the marquee grill?
The marquee grill in the Terrace Reserve, if fans remember, there was kind of like a replica marquee on the back of the actual Wrigley Field marquee, so a very nice Terrace Reserve bar with food and concessions. We are continuing to upgrade our concessions. People should know, as a result of this new office building that's going up, we're now preparing food on site in the sub-basement, and so the food will get very better.
Julian, thanks for stopping by.
Spring is finally here. Time to find the perfect Honda to take your family out on the open road. Whether that's in the Accord or the Odyssey, with an available built-in Honda vac. So hurry in to the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
Test drive the Odyssey or the Accord, the best-selling vehicles in their class.
Time to switch to a new plan from U.S. Cellular with no hidden fees. Let's show your old carrier what you think of their plan with hidden fees. Data overages gone.
I've had enough.
Everyone's had enough. Monthly connection charges gone.
That's on my bill?
Activation fees gone. Doesn't that feel better? Yeah! New plans with no hidden fees, including unlimited data for $40 a month.
How do you become America's best-selling brand?
Stop. Watch.
You make it for 16-year-olds. And the parents who worry about them. Going further to help make drivers better drivers.
You saw him right.
Don't freak out on me.
That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now get 0% financing for 60 months on Fusion, or get up to $6,069 in total savings. Only at your local Ford store.
Circa 21, grand dining plus great professional entertainment. Now playing the Tony Award-winning musical comedy The Music Man, a family-friendly story of Harold Hill as he poses as a boys band leader to con naive townsfolk. Circa 21, spend an evening you'll remember.
You're watching WQAD News 8.
Cubs lead 5-0. Jet Bandy takes a strike. You've talked about this before as the mindset of a starting pitcher, which you don't verbalize to others, but you can because you're retired. This is my game, right?
Yeah, you expect to win. You get this many runs early. It feels like a win, and then the priority becomes to pitch deep into the game and save the bullpen. The trap is to think, well, I've got this big lead and I'm supposed to just throw fastballs over the heart of the plate and challenge guys. You just got to pitch your game.
Lofted to left. Schwarber, long run, and he can't get it. It's trapped as Bandy has a double.
Second hit of the game for the Brewers. Second two-base hit. This is just a lofted fly ball down the left field line, and Schwarber just runs out of time. Can't run under it. So a pop fly double for Bandy.
That will bring up the pitcher Davies, who might have been wondering in the first if he would get a plate appearance. Not showing bunt. Rizzo is about 50 feet away from home plate. Called strike.
Well, Davies an 090 lifetime batter, 6 out of 67. Jake throwing more four-seam fastballs than the two-seam sinking fastball here, and that may be because they have so many right-handed batters in their lineup.
Montero will pick it up. Bandy holding at second. One away.
Tomorrow night, the Cubs-Dodgers. First pitch 7:05, and up to the first 30,000 early arriving fans will receive a Cubs magnet schedule presented by Giordano's. For more information, visit Cubs.com.
VR caught looking in the first. Last night hit his 5th career leadoff home run. I think those would be good glasses for you, JD.
Hers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. Those are sharp. Can you hook me up? You got a guy?
We can probably hook you up. VR showed bunt. Montero thought that ball clipped the bat. Yes, it did not.
He must have heard something.
Came out swinging early last night against Kyle Hendricks.
It was on a low 2 pitch. Had to beat him with a high fastball. He was able to get on top of it.
Set. Here it is. Way high. Thames on deck, 2-2 on VR. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tweet us your Cubs selfies to #BudFridays. And we may use them during our fan cam segment later on today. We have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame themed fan cam tune coming up. Here's Thames.
Thames back in the States after a very successful run in Korea. Bunch of home runs, hit for a very high batting average. Last played in the major leagues in 2012. Let's see if those numbers translate. And last year, the year before, he had 47 home runs.
What do you call that thing?
That's well, a binky, a soother. In the UK, they call it a dummy. I'm referring to the little thing in the child's mouth, not the child itself. I don't want to be accused of calling the little guy a dummy. It's a binky.
See if Jake can get back in it here, 3-0. I'm sure he would rather not have to deal with Ryan Braun with a couple of men on.
Yeah, his misses have been up for the most part in this game. VR did him a favor chasing a high pitch to strike out. Right, so I talked earlier about, you just have to pitch your game. But with a 5-run lead, there are times when you're at the mercy of the count and you have to be a little bit more aggressive, willing to challenge. You don't want to be walking somebody in front of Braun.
Just wide of the bag, it's foul. We underscore quite often when we see Arrieta pitch the stark contrast between Jake Arrieta, the Oriole, and Arrieta, the Cub. 20 and 25 with a 5.46 with Baltimore. 55 and 21 with a 2.50 with the Cubs.
I mentioned earlier that he was the pitcher of the month in April of last year. That was his third consecutive pitcher of the month win. August, September of 2015, he won that award. Big nibble a little bit there with Thames, and now he'll have to deal with Braun. As a matter of fact, 6 of the last 8 National League pitchers of the month have been wearing a Cub uniform.
Lester Hendricks?
Yeah, Lester got 2 of them last year. Kyle had 1, Jake had 1, and Jake had the final 2 is 2015.
Do you know the other 2? Is Kershaw one of them?
Kershaw and Strasburg.
Okay.
This is a big, big confrontation. Talk about all the turnover on this Brewer club. Ryan Braun actually has more plate appearances against the Cubs than the rest of the roster combined.
He's always hit Cubs pitching. Center field and deep, and gone. The Brewers back in the game on a 3-run shot from Ryan Braun.
No doubt did not hit his spot with that pitch. I think Jake will also lament the fact that he wasn't a little more aggressive with Thames hitting before Braun. That was the big fear. This is how you get back in the game. Traffic in front of their most feared hitter. And it's just a little bit of a floating breaking ball. Did not bite at all. Sat there belly button high for Braun.
All-time Brewer leader in homers. That's number 287. Been against the Cubs. Shaw pops it up. Bryant makes the grab, and that's that. But double walk homer, and it's all of a sudden a 2-run ball game after 3.
Why did we design the XT Enduro Series to deliver strength, versatility, and the industry's leading warranty? Because the reason you do all of this is so you can do more of this. This is Strongsville, and this is where it starts, at your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer, where you can find expert service, advice, and exceptional financing. To find a locally owned dealer near you, visit CubCadetDealers.com.
This Chicago Cubs game is brought to you locally by Mountain Dew.
The Jeep brand presents Great Moments in the Great Outdoors. April 27th. The Wright family learned to live off the land.
Ow.
June 18th, Dave unleashed his inner hamster. August 9th, Brian Jr. looked away from his phone for 3 whole minutes. Find your moment with great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance event.
Right now, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee for $299 a month.
It was 39 hours difference between when he left and when she left.
I certainly can't imagine going through one funeral, let alone both funerals at the same time for my parents.
Everybody down here made everything so easy for us.
I try to put myself in their position of what I would want, and I try to make sure that that's taken care of for them when they arrive so that they aren't having to ask us for something.
I couldn't believe the job they did. It was amazing. Just amazing.
Esterdahl, serving the community since 1891.
This Chicago Cubs game is brought to you locally by Glass Service Center.
Together united, we can inspire hope and create opportunities for a better tomorrow. Let's create a stronger Quad Cities together. That's what it means to live united.
We are back. 5-3 Cubs lead the fourth inning. Brought to you by Wendy's, where the quarter-pound stack is now an option in the 4 for $4 at participating locations for a limited time. Gotta love the quarter-pound stack. Oof. Good swing. Well, work to be done. Brewers have tightened things up. Going to play a little add-on. So it's the fourth inning, and here comes the top of the order for the third time. Time now for the Mazda replay. This is home run number 2 on the year for Kyle Schwarber. 420 plus.
Pitch, swing and a miss. This time Davies wins the battle. So he's looking for a salvage today after a very, very rough first couple of innings.
Yeah, he's hung in there after that early onslaught. He's retired 7 in a row now.
Singles for Bryant make that 3. He is 3 for 3.
Second consecutive 3-hit game for Chris.
Rizzo trying to get in on the fun. He's 0 for 2. Six hits in 11 innings Friday. 24 hits over the last 13 innings for the Cubs. Ball 1 to Rizzo. I've got pitching matchups for the Dodgers series. Alex Wood filling in for the injured Rich Hill against John Lester. Lefty-lefty matchup tomorrow night. Off day Tuesday. Wednesday, Brandon McCarthy and John Lackey. And then lefties again on Thursday afternoon. Hyunjin Ryu and Brett Anderson.
Dodgers have already placed Rich Hill on the disabled list. Been a big part of their story, trying to keep these pitchers healthy. But despite that, they've done a lot of winning.
Three and nothing on Rizzo. So that will be an NLCS rematch. Cubs will avoid Clayton Kershaw.
Or Clayton Kershaw will avoid the Cubs,
right,
depending on your point of view.
So 3-0 swing. It's now 3-1.
Anthony got caught thinking change up there. Made the comparison with Davies and Hendricks earlier, and also the demeanor, right? I mean, even when he was giving up all that damage, even keel, didn't change his tempo, didn't look like he was about to crater out there.
There goes Bryant, swing and a miss, strike 3. Bandy couldn't get a good handle on that ball, so that'll be a stolen base for Bryant.
little sinker, beats Rizzo, and Bandy, once he couldn't get the clean handle, opts not to make the throw.
There was one team left without a loss in the majors, and that is the Baltimore Orioles, who went into their game today against the Yankees 4-0, and they've got a 3-0 lead in the 6th. It's only a week. How about the NL West? The Diamondbacks and Rockies are both 5-1.
Yeah, Giants are 1-5.
The Twins are 4-1, leading the American League Central. In the air to center. This is Keon Broxton. Inning over. We go to the Brewer half of the 4th. It's 5-3 Cubs.
Goods is an escape. It's a very leisurely, relaxing day. You can look at furniture wherever you go in the store, and I believe you'll find it very laid back and relaxed and a lot of fun. It's a whole different experience at Goods than I think anywhere else. The wine cellar restaurant, the bed and breakfast, all the kids love the fish pond, so it's just an easy way to spend the day with your family and friends. I invite you to visit the furniture destination of the Midwest at Goods Furniture in Kewanee, Illinois.
How do you become America's best-selling brand?
Stop, stop, stop. Watch, watch, watch.
You make it for 16-year-olds.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And the parents who worry about them. Going further to help make drivers better drivers.
You sound right. Don't freak out on me.
That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now get a Focus with 0% financing for 60 months, or lease one for just $159 a month, only at your local Ford store.
At Big JJ Fish and Chicken, we have lunch specials every day of the week until 3 p.m. There's hot wings, fish sandwiches, shrimp, Italian beef, gizzards, and catfish nuggets. Every meal guaranteed to be fresh. Big taste, big value. Big JJ Fish and Chicken.
This Chicago Cubs game is brought to you locally by Mountain Dew.
On Monday, April 17th, join the Cubs for the first ever industry night presented by Jim Beam. Restaurateurs, baristas, and concierges are encouraged to buy specially priced tickets for that game to receive a wooden coaster with a built-in bottle opener. That's presented by Jim Beam. For tickets, Cubs.com/community nights.
Foul strike on Santana. Let's go with my spelling bee champ.
He's a spelling bee champ.
Get it? One and one.
We got a note from Chip Marshall, who's here watching the game with his daughter Bridget. He wants to give a shout out to wife Nora and Grace, who are watching back in Glenview. So hi, Nora and Grace. Hope you're enjoying the day.
Pitch. Foul back to the screen. 2-2. Marietta home. He struck him out. Santana down on strikes, number 4 for Jake.
Got VR twice, got Braun, and now Santana.
Not even a weekend. Perez has already played short, third, center, and right. And they just picked up another versatile guy, switch hitting Nick Franklin. He made his Brewer debut last night and homered.
Jake has a lot of deception in his delivery, works across his body, sometimes has a hard time getting that ball down in the zone. Work hard to drive that ball down.
Ball driven deep to center. Backpedaling is John Jay. Edge of the track. 2 outs. Hey, Cub fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Just missed. Broxton, who's wearing some really cool socks.
Yeah, he's styling. Interesting player. Saw him a little bit with the Pirates a couple of years ago, but first extended look at the big league level last year with the Brewers. He was up and down 3 or 4 different times. But showed some decent power. His outstanding speed. Stole 23 bases at 27 tries. He's very patient, takes a lot of walks. Might remind you a little bit of Eric Davis, the way he stands at home plate with his hands held low like that. Former great Cincinnati Red.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second, 1, 2, 3. The first 4 for Arrieta as he carries a 5-3 lead into the 5th.
We have a rapid recovery program which has minimized the patient's postoperative discomfort, encouraged early return to full function. We deal with athletes of all sizes and shapes and ages, from the teenager to the older adult. Patients' expectations are much different than they were 30 years ago, but our techniques have helped us get patients back to the same level of competitive athletic endeavor.
Hit a home run on your next new or used car purchase at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered your personal field of dreams. You'll be treated like an all-star, from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a major league selection of pre-owned vehicles. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh yeah, Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
Circa 21, grand dining plus great professional entertainment. Now playing the Tony Award-winning musical comedy, The Music Man, a family-friendly story of Harold Hill as he poses as a boys band leader to con naive townsfolk. Circa 21, spend an evening you'll remember.
You're watching WQAD News 8. It takes hard work and determination to achieve your goals.
Every day at practice, they talk about where they want to get to and how they're never going to give up.
I mean, it means everything to me, really. I've been working 4 years for 20 seconds, so.
And in those few seconds, everything can change.
We were talking to the dugout, and we said it'd be awesome if she hit a home run and just walked this game off, and she did it.
To play 5 games in 3 days really preps you for the postseason.
The Score, tonight at 10:35 on News 8.
Kids.
Here's your State Farm winning combination. State Farm here to help life go right. Life has gone very right for Joe Madden and the Cubs. 200 combined wins in his first 2 seasons as he led the Cubs to their first World Series title since 1908. First 100-win campaign since 1935. The list goes on and on. Thought it was really cool. He has invited the widow of his longtime friend Don Zimmer, Soot. That's her nickname. She and their grandson are coming to the home opener tomorrow night.
Very nice.
We did a little research and we found out that Don and Soot were married 63 years. High school sweethearts. Russell pops it up. Perez is shortstop. 2 hands on it. 1 away. Great to see the Souters family. Pat, Amy, they've got 9. Big group here at the ballpark today. As we mentioned earlier, Cub fans very well represented. It's got to be, you know, it's good and bad probably if you're the Brewers. If you're the business department, you love it. You're selling a lot of tickets, but it's got to be a little strange for Ryan Braun, as you mentioned last night, to get booed in his home ballpark and to hear these huge ovations when the road team does something.
Yeah, it's got to be a little disconcerting to be a Brewer player. Feel all that energy in the ballpark for the other side.
Fouled away by Hayward, who squared up 2 today. 2-run double in the first, and then robbed of probably another, or triple I should say, and then robbed of another extra base hit in the second by Braun. It was just a theory, but we talked about it in spring training. It just felt like however he was swinging the bat, he just needed some early results, and he's been getting them.
Yeah, just to gain some confidence, get comfortable with this new approach. It's a good matchup for him today too. You know, Davies not a high velocity guy and tends to work down in the zone, and both of those play to Jason's strength.
Ball struck well, diving stop, VR. So it has not been a very lucky day for Hayward, who is 1 for 3, but could be 3 for 3 very easily.
Yeah, he's had a few swings like that in this series. He hit into a 3-6-3 double play then, had a ball he absolutely scalded to first base. This one's got a little jump on it too off the bat, but VR there to make a play on him. Joe's also on the cover of Michigan Avenue magazine this month.
Great.
Yep.
1 hopper for the shortstop Perez, and Davies has been really good over these last 3 innings. 5-3 Cubs in the 5th.
Good is an escape. It's a very leisurely, relaxing day. You can look at furniture wherever you go in the store, and I believe you'll find it very laid back and relaxed, and a lot of fun. It's a whole different experience at Goods than I think anywhere else. The wine cellar restaurant, the bed and breakfast, all the kids love the fish pond, so it's just an easy way to spend the day with your family and friends. I invite you to visit the furniture destination of the Midwest at Goods Furniture in Kewanee, Illinois.
Time to switch to a new plan from U.S. Cellular with no hidden fees. Let's show your old carrier what you think of their plan with hidden fees. Data overages gone.
I've had enough.
Everyone's had enough. Monthly connection charges gone.
That's on my bill?
Activation fees gone. Doesn't that feel better?
Yeah!
New plans with no hidden fees, including unlimited data for $40 a month.
Right now at Casey's General Stores, get 2 large single-topping pizzas for only $20. Casey's, famous for pizza.
At Big JJ Fish and Chicken, we have lunch specials every day of the week until 3 p.m. There's hot wings, fish sandwiches, shrimp, Italian beef, gizzards, and catfish nuggets. Every meal guaranteed to be fresh. Big taste, big value. Big JJ Fish and Chicken.
Storm Track 8's 3-degree guarantee. Supported by Erickson Chevrolet.
MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Final game of this season opening road trip. It will at least be a 500 trek, but Cubs love to head home 4-2. Bandy takes a strike.
Jet, J-E-T-T Bandy, the name a hybrid of his dad and grandfather. Father Jeff, grandfather Chester was known as Chet, hence Jet.
Line drive to Hayward. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Len and JD and our WGN crew from Miller Park in Milwaukee. Hey, this is our first regular season WGN telecast. We got bumped the other night due to rain. On the pinch hitter Kirk Neuenhuis batting for Davies.
Davies hung in there. They can get blown out of this thing early. Got up off the deck. Posted 3 consecutive zeros to keep his team in the game.
Carlos Torres getting ready for the 6th. Is that a Deshays jersey? It could be.
Let's just go with it. Let's just say yes.
And that is your era right there. Love it.
Might be a Louis Pujols jersey.
Who wants it? A fan.
Yeah, there was a lot of want, but nobody could get there.
Time now for the Jeep upcoming schedule. See your Jeep dealer today and experience the freedom that comes with legendary capability. 9 games over 10 days at home before the Cubs head off for a 3-city trip. That will include Fenway Park.
It's just to get a look at those Pittsburghers. Talented young pitching. Cincinnati trying to win a series from St. Louis, playing game 3 of that set this afternoon, and the Reds lead 2-0. They're in the 6th. Scott Feldman working on a shutout.
He got him. Looking for strike 3.
I thought the ball was off the plate. Might have had a case. Well presented by Montero. You see the 2-seam fastball with run. Hits his spot, gets his man.
So 6 strikeouts, 3 looking. 2 of those strikeouts, 1 looking against VR. baseball today, we've seen 90 to 93. That's a strike. 1-2. He struck him out on a curveball. Number 7 for Arrieta. We head to the 6th. 5-3 Cubs in the rubber match.
This Chicago Cubs game is brought to you locally by Whelan Presley Funeral Home.
Come on down to Orion Tire and Repair for a new set of tires.
Here at Orion Tire and Repair, we can fit all types of vehicles with brand new hand-cooked tires. We do family cars, semi-trucks, farm tractors, commercial trucks, even lawnmowers. While you're here, get some regular maintenance done on your vehicle. So join us at Orion Tire and Repair right off of Route 150.
We're a family business with the right tires.
Convenient, unique, greatest grains, natural and organic products, fresh foods, body care, vitamins and supplements, healthy and delicious living made easy. Greatest Grains. We are health-minded with your health in mind. A family tradition since 1979. Greatest Grains, located on Harrison in the Hilltop Campus Village, Davenport.
Circa 21, grand dining plus great professional entertainment. Now playing the Tony Award-winning musical comedy The Music Man, a family-friendly story of Harold Hill as he poses as a boys band leader to con naive townsfolk. Circa 21, spend an evening you'll remember.
The 6th inning is brought to you by Meijer, true Chicago fans. Cubs lead 5-3. They got 4 right off the bat. Schwarber homered in the 2nd to make it 5-0. And then Ryan Braun with a 3-run homer in the 3rd. New pitcher for Milwaukee is right-hander Carlos Torres.
And swing of the bat by Braun really changed the feel of this game. And now the Brewers feel like they've got a fighting chance. And Davies hung in there and passed the baton to Carlos Torres, who's working for the 4th time. We saw him Friday night, and he was good. An inning and 2/3, allowed no hits, no runs. He had a walk, a couple of strikeouts. This is his 2nd year with the Brewers. Pitched 72 times for them last year and fashioned a 2.73 earned run average.
He didn't sport it, he fashioned it.
Yeah. He is, however, sporting a 0 ERA for this year. He's a veteran, 34 years of age, came up with the White Sox in 09. Just a cup of coffee there for a couple of seasons. Went to Colorado. Had a 5.26 there. And then 3 years with the Mets. Some quality work out of that bullpen for Terry Collins, including 97 innings in 2014.
2 bouncer to the 3rd baseman Shaw.
On Wednesday, April 12th, the Cubs take on the Dodgers. First pitch, 7:05, and up to the first 30,000 early arriving fans will receive a replica championship banner presented by MasterCard. For ticket information, visit Cubs.com. Last year, Torres hit 72 times, 82 in the third innings for the Brewers. So he's been worked hard.
One and one on John Jay. Tough weekend for Jeremy Guthrie. Had an awful start last night pitching for the Nationals. Gave up 10 earned runs at Philadelphia. Only recorded 2 outs on his 38th birthday, and today he was designated for assignment.
Yeah, happy birthday, right? Can be a cruel game sometimes. Torres likes to cut that fastball in on the hands of the left-handed batters.
Salvador Perez has homered in 4 consecutive games for the Royals, including an early homer today. Kansas City leads 3-1 in Houston. Another foul here in the 6th. Reds have extended their lead to 4-0 in St. Louis in the 6th.
Carlos Martinez pitching for St. Louis today.
It's 6-0 Reds in the 6th. Called strike 3. Seen a lot of those today. Schwarber 2 for 3, single, homer, 2 runs scored. So if I have this right, tell me if I'm wrong. But assuming Kyle's in the lineup tomorrow, it'll be his first start at Wrigley Field since 2015, right? He got hurt on the first road trip last year. He only started as the DH in Cleveland in the World Series. Well, softly hit to the third baseman Shaw, basically playing short in the shift. Got to say that very carefully. 5-3 Cubs in the 6th.
The Big Bag Lunch. Pick any 2 to go with your fries and drink for just $5. Only at Hardee's.
How do you become America's best-selling brand?
Stop. Watch.
You make it for 16-year-olds.
Whoa.
And the parents who worry about them. Going further to help make drivers better drivers.
You saw him right.
Don't freak out on me.
That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now get 0% financing for 60 months on Fusion, or get up to $6,069 in total savings. Only at your local Ford store.
Everybody down here made everything so easy for us.
They helped walk us through all of the decisions that needed to be handled.
Just the little things that you really appreciate.
We try to provide a service and try to anticipate their needs before they have to ask us for something.
I couldn't believe the job they did. It was amazing, just amazing.
They're extraordinary.
They were tops. It meant a lot.
Esther Doll,
serving the community since 1891.
This Chicago Cubs game is brought to you locally by Billion Auto.
Big JJ Fish and Chicken. Every Tuesday, boneless wings are 50 cents. And on Thursday, traditional wings are also 50 cents. Each wing made fresh with the best ingredients. Come try our Quad City award-winning wings. Big taste, big value. Big JJ Fish and Chicken.
Now for the Gigatime high-speed replay powered by Xfinity. Jake Arrieta trying to win his first 2 starts. The Gigatime high-speed replay is powered by Xfinity, the future of awesome. And April has been awesome and amazing for Arrieta. As we hit our alliteration. Thames takes low, ball 1.
He is retired 7 in a row after the home run by Braun.
Braun is on deck. Into his motion, the 1-2 pitch bounces. It's 2-2. Say it or should I? Doesn't want to walk him. I said that last time.
Right, so that's why it's so important to know hitter tendencies in this situation. How aggressive is a hitter in certain counts, and he was guessing ball that time.
His 8th strikeout. Sat out last night due to back issues and has had an impact on this one big time. On both sides of the ball, JD.
Yeah, both sides. Football parlance has crept into baseball.
Don't worry, I will never say it again. Fouled off his foot.
Well, it's funny though how we're protective of certain things, because I get pretty loose with the jargon, you know, mix whether sports lingo into baseball, but for some reason that one's always bugged me, that both sides of the ball reference to baseball.
Arrieta's 1-1 is off the inside corner. Pitch count in good shape. Working with a 2-run lead in the 6th inning.
He's allowed just 3 hits to this point. That's kind of become the norm. Last year, opposing batters hit 194 against him.
Born in Missouri, grew up in Texas.
Had a stretch last year where he went 12 consecutive starts, allowing 5 or fewer hits.
He struck him out looking. 9.
Yeah, this is real good work by Montero, too. You know, they threw a lot of breaking balls early in the game, and you get some takes at what appear to be pretty hittable fastballs. And he's kind of recognizing that Brewer hitters may be thinking a little bit more about the breaking pitch at this stage of the game.
He has struck out 4 in a row, and of his 9, 5 of the looking variety today. Travis Shaw takes ball 1 high. As a sign, Montero slides toward the outside. Pitch was up a little bit, but toward the outside and fouled away. 1-2. Two outs, nobody on, 6th inning. 2-2 pitch. 3-2. Arrieta won the NL Cy Young 2 years ago. Was an all-star last year, combined for 40 wins over those 2 campaigns. Swing and a miss. 5 straight strikeouts, 10 on the day by Arrieta.